One climbing partner has a broken back. One climbing partner is at work. One climbing partner is in Italy on vacation. So what do you do when you want to train and you don't have a climbing partner? Solo top roping. Welcome to my world. Here's how I set up the solo top rope. The first thing I do is I'm above the climbing crag, so this is going to be a top managed situation. I set up a tether on an anchor up above. So I'm using this tree right here. It's going to tether me down to the finish of the climbing anchors. When I get to those climbing anchors, I'm going to tie in on my climbing rope. I'm going to find the halfway mark, and then I'm going to tie it off in a figure eight. Clip in the figure eight, add in a redundant locking carabiner, so I'm in on two spots, and then I rappel down and I'll climb off of that. Let's go do it. Once you've rappelled down, get your rappelling gear off. And now you can set up your top rope anchor, your solo top rope anchor. There's a bunch of different ways to do it, and I've tried several different methods, and so far this one's the best for me. You might find something better, and I'd love to know if there are other people with different ideas. But what I use is called a Petzl shunt, and I either use a Kroll or a micro traction as backup. First thing you're going to do is coil up the rope, and then I usually just stuff it in my bag because I'm going to attach onto the bag. Once you've got it in the bag, what you want to make sure is two things. One, you got a system that's going to protect you, and two, it's going to slide easily. And I guess three, that it has the least amount of wear and tear on the rope. That was the third thing that became the biggest challenge in the end. So the way that I do that is I put the main protection device, which is called the shunt, on my waist harness through a strap. When I do that, I have to shorten it a little bit. Took a little trial and error to figure out the exact length that I wanted the sling. But take the shunt and attach it onto the rope. And the nice thing about the shunt is it has no teeth on the front of it. So the friction device is purely one thing pushing against the rope. You don't get that when you use the micro traction or the Kroll. Both of these guys have teeth on them that can actually rub against the rope. Now you notice the micro traction only goes on one rope. That's why you got to tie it up top. You could use the shunt just like this as you went up because there's equal pressure on both sides of the rope. But if you had to fall and rely on your backup, then the rope could go like that and you could end up sliding out. So that's why you need the knot at the top of the rope. One of the things that you have to do to allow this to move smoothly and with as little friction as possible is you've got to weight the rope. So there has to be some tension coming down on the rope. So I just take a little overhand knot on a bite, like that. And I attach it to my pack once I get everything zipped up. Put two on there if you want. And now I've got weight pulling the rope down I've got my main protection here. I've got my backup there. I'm going to check and lock my beaners. 2 lock beaners, 1, 2, 2 protection system. I'm ready to climb. Once you've got your system set up, then of course you want to give it a test. So you don't want to get halfway up and take a fall. So slide the shunt up as high as you can, follow it with the micro traction, and then sit down. You can see that held me just fine, works as advertised. Now I'm going to climb. Once you've tested your system, you've checked your lockers, keep 2 things in mind. Number 1, let someone know what time you're going to be back. In case something does happen, you'll have someone at least coming out to look for you at some point. And number 2, carry a few extra beaners and make sure you've got an auto block or some sort of Prusik device. You should be rappelling with one of these anyways. I always keep it on my leg loop in case you have to let go, in case you have to tie something, in case you get bit by a bee. It's a nice backup to have when you're rappelling. But in a situation where you're solo top roping, if you've got a Prusik device, a couple extra beaners, and your ATC, then you can get down even if you're midway up. That's the difficulty with the shunt and the micro traction, is they don't release easily, so you've got to find some other way of taking the weight off, and the Prusik and the auto block are good for that. Make sure you practice it. It's a little awkward. This is the best system I've found so far. It's smooth. It's got 2 systems, separate systems who act in a different way, so it's nicely redundant. And it's easy on the rope because most of the pressure is being taken by this. If you got any better ideas, I'd love to hear them. If not, enjoy your solo and keep training hard.